Let's talk dividing fractions. When you're dividing fractions, there's actually two different ways that you can go about it. You can, one, use a common denominator, or two, you can get the reciprocal of the second fraction, which is a fancy way of saying you flip it, and then this sign in the middle switches to multiplication. When you have denominators that are relatively similar, like an 8 and a 4, I tend to go with a common denominator, but that doesn't mean that if you choose to do otherwise that you're incorrect. So I have negative 5/8 divided by 3/4. Well, the common denominator for 8 and 4 is going to be 8. So my first one doesn't actually need to change, but my second one will. So 4 times 2 gets me to 8, so I need to multiply my 3 by 2 as well. When you're using common denominators, you are going to make your answer be your first numerator on top of your second numerator, and once again, pay attention to your signs, and my answer here is going to be negative 5/6. You would eventually get to the same answer if you answered it as a common denominator, or as an flip and multiply, but it might have required some reducing at the end. When you are dividing mixed numbers, similarly to when you are multiplying them, you're going to first turn them into an improper fraction. So I'm going to have 3 times 5, which is 15, plus 1. So it's going to give me negative 16/5 divided by, then 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So negative 7/3. In this particular case, both the common denominator and the multiplying with reciprocal are just as easy, therefore I'm going to multiply. I find students tend to prefer that method. So I'm going to have negative 16/5 times negative 3/7. At this point, we're just going to multiply across. So 6 times 3 is going to give me 48. And then 5 times 7 is going to give me 35. Let's check the signs. So I have a negative times a negative. So my answer actually is going to be positive. At this point in time, I need to simplify. I need to ask myself, how many times can 35 come out of 48? And the answer is 1, with 13 out of 35 pieces remaining. And that is a quick review of how to divide